Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developer.
Viewers, we keep getting your top updates coming in right now. Breaking news coming in from Tamil Nadu. Alert has been issued for cyclone Michang in Chennai. Several areas are severely waterlogged and the locals are struggling to travel. We're getting to know this information coming in. Severe cyclonic storm Michang is likely to be making a landfall. An alert has been issued for cyclone Michang in Chennai. Those visuals coming in, you can see that the weather there, looking inclement weather, which is kind of showcasing that it could be possible very soon that cyclone Michang could make a landfall in a few hours' time. Several areas are completely waterlogged and locals are struggling to travel. Remember that cyclone Michang, it's a severe cyclone Michang. It's lying around 130 kilometers north of Chennai. This is what the Indian Meteorological Department has said. Let's go straight to Varshini, who's joining us live right now. Varshini, cyclone Michang is approaching the North Tamil Nadu coast. Several areas of Chennai are completely inundated due to heavy rainfall and severe waterlogging. Take us through the alert which has been issued. I can see that you are also standing there and you are all prepared for it. Be safe, but tell us what is really happening and what is the alert like.
Well, Shivangi, definitely yes. If you see the severe cyclonic storm Michang has definitely caused a major disruption to the state of Tamil Nadu, particularly the northern parts of Tamil Nadu. Chennai, Chengalpet, Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram was heavily damaged because of extremely heavy rains which caused flooding, and this time around it has been excessive rains which has recorded almost 400 to 500 millimeter of rain, which is even more than what was recorded in 2015, which is the infamous Chennai flood. And now you can see this severe cyclonic storm is moving northwards parallel to the coast of the Andhra Pradesh, and it has crossed Nellore, and right now it is around 70 kilometer southeast of the Bapatla, Andhra Pradesh, where this cyclonic storm Michang is expected to make a landfall very soon, Shivangi. Like you can see, we are standing in the beaches of Bapatla and there are extremely strong winds that are blowing where even it is very difficult for humans to stand for some time. So there's heavy protocol in place. Both the border districts of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh have been completely, stopped. Permission to go out has been denied, and the state governments of both Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh are taking extreme care, and protocols are being put in place. People in Tamil Nadu are suffering from the floods that this cyclonic storm has caused. But right now, since it's moving towards Andhra Pradesh, the people here are getting prepared. NDRF teams from all over both these states have been deployed in the coastal parts of northern Tamil Nadu and southern Andhra Pradesh, and this this cyclonic storm Michaung is expected to make a landfall in a couple of hours, which is going to only even worse. The situation is only going to get even more worse. Therefore, NDRF and SDRF teams are in place. Fire and rescue teams are also there deployed, and all these teams are in action. Here, if you see in these beaches, marine police are there, lifeguards are there, NDRF teams are there, and people whoever come here are immediately being sent back to their houses because a red alert has been issued to Andhra Pradesh. And since the cyclonic storm has moved towards the southern part of Andhra Pradesh, the red alert that was given for Tamil Nadu has been reduced to orange alert. Though there is rains everywhere and strong winds, which is blowing from 90 to 100 km/h speed, is what is making this heavy disruption. Trees are getting uprooted, walls and buildings are getting collapsed. We saw building collapse in Chennai yesterday. Therefore, high security alert is being put in Andhra Pradesh. Relief camps have been set up. Rescue operation, evacuation operations are also underway to take the people who are living in the low-lying areas where flooding is expected in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Also, more than 4,000 camps has been put up, and people are being shifted to these camps to provide them with necessities like food and water and others. Therefore, in Andhra Pradesh also, the district collector is monitoring the situation to take the next steps of rescue operations for the people. But for now, what we are picking up is that this severe cyclonic storm Michaung is going to make landfall in another couple of hours, and the IMD says that this wind speed, which is blowing at 90 to 100 kilometers, will even more be intensified during landfall, and it is expected to cross more than 110 km/h speed, which could definitely result in a severe destruction to these places. Therefore, this area between Nellore and Machilipatnam, which has been given by the IMD, in between where Bapatla is somewhere near Bapatla is where the landfall is expected to happen. Therefore, we'll have to wait and see what is going to happen next. But the Tamil Nadu government is trying to give relief works and make sure everything is done at the earliest so that people can return to their normalcy. But it is still very bad there, since roads have all been badly inundated and broken there. So we'll have to wait and watch how this turns out for the Tamil Nadu state of people of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh both.
Well, Varshali, I can see you there, and I can see that you are standing in a place there's heavy winds and rainfall where you are. And it, of course, it kind of shows early signs of the landfall, which you can expect in a few hours' time. But if you could take our viewers through how many people have been evacuated, where they have been shifted to, and we also know that the CM M.K. Stalin has been inspecting the cyclone-hit areas. We see that authorities have also put in some alerts. We see that entire area, the people there, their normal life has been thrown out of gear. If you could take our viewers through the evacuation process.
Shivangi, in Tamil Nadu, if you see, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin himself has come to the places which is most affected, and along with him the ministers are also there taking cognizance of how much damage has been made and what kind of relief has to be immediately provided for the people who have been stuck there. Evacuation process has been going on from Sunday night in Tamil Nadu, and power cuts have also been reported. There is massive power cut throughout the city of Chennai and districts like Chengalpet and Kanchipuram and Tiruvallur, which are adjoining and also receiving extremely heavy rainfalls. Therefore, people have lost a lot of basic necessities like electricity, water, food. Everything has been difficult. Therefore, wherever there is flooding, NDRF teams are immediately moving along with boats to rescue these people and move them and shift them to the relief camps set up by the Tamil Nadu government. And more than 4,000 camps have been set up, and the people have been moved into these camps in large numbers. And additional, today morning when the Revenue Department gave out notifications, they even stated that additional of 100,000 employees have been deployed in the Greater Chennai Corporation and in the relief so that they will be able to evacuate more people and rescue them and send them to relief camps. And at the same time, Shivangi, if you see Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin had spoken about this. He'd also stated that this time around this rainfall is really heavy, but still it is more than the 2015's infamous Chennai floods. Therefore, the damages are still less is what he's stating. He's stating that this time, since the Tamil Nadu government has done around 4,000 crore worth stormwater drain projects, they've been able to quickly remove the water and drain it out is what he's essentially stating. But from the pictures and the videos that we are seeing from the ground in Tamil Nadu, the situation is definitely entirely different. People are suffering. There's water everywhere. Most of the important roads are inundated. 10 subways have been closed. 9 deaths have been reported. Therefore, situation is definitely not looking very good in the state of Tamil Nadu, particularly the northern part. The 4 districts that I mentioned, Chennai, Tiruvallur, Kanchipuram, Chengalpet, where this severe cyclonic storm Mishong has definitely brought in a lot of destruction. Therefore, it might take a couple of days for the state of Tamil Nadu to come back to normalcy, and the GCC, the Greater Chennai Corporation, and the Tamil Nadu's Revenue Disaster Management Department are trying hard to ensure that people are being safe, and provisions like food and water are being distributed to them as much as possible. But for now, the situation is not yet better, but we can hope that only in a day or two the situation in Tamil Nadu will get back to normal, Shivangi.
Absolutely. So most of Chennai remains submerged due to heavy rains under the impact of Michong. It's intensified into a severe cyclonic storm, and it's going to head towards the Andhra Pradesh coast. That's where my colleague Varshini is, who is bravely reporting for us from ground, as she's also battling heavy rain and heavy wind there. Varshini, I'm coming back to you right now. If you could take our viewers through, unfortunately there has been some loss of life as well. If you could take our viewers through exactly what has happened, and any kind of precautions being taken right now to prevent this kind of incident once the landfall happens.
Shivangi, the Tamil Nadu's Revenue and Disaster Management Department is what is responsible for such natural calamities, and they are the ones who immediately take cognizance of what is happening and what should be done and how to take care of the people. And similarly, they had given out a notification, a statement where they had stated that 7 deaths have been reported in the district of Chengalpet and 2 deaths have been reported in the city of Chennai, which means this is all because of the heavy floods, inundation, electricity, lack of electricity, lack of food and all. And we are also hearing that people who have been living in the low-lying areas are the ones who are affected. Low-lying, when I speak, it is about people who live in and around lakes, because in 2015 when the floods happened, it was because of the main lakes of Tamil Nadu, the reservoirs which were overflowing, which excessive water were released from these reservoirs and lakes, which ended up creating a flood-like situation. And similarly, this time around, people living in the low-lying areas who live around these reservoirs and lakes are the ones who are getting affected more. So the priority and the focus that the Tamil Nadu government is putting right now is to ensure that these people are safe. And the Chembarambakam lake is one of the most important lake of Tamil Nadu, and that also comes under the Chengalpet district, which is why it is making it more difficult. Here, if you can see, there are extremely high tides, Shivangi. This is not how a beach usually looks, as we all know. There are extremely high tides that we can see, and even far from the shore we can see a lot of tides arising very highly, and at the same time these winds are blowing so fast. There's very extremely strong blowing of winds that is ongoing, which is really making it difficult for even a human being to stand here. There are a lot of cattle also being found here in this Bapatla area, where there's a lot of cattle going around. So the government, Andhra Pradesh government, is also trying to remove these cattle from these places so that they can bring them to shelter as well. So it's not just about human beings. The government is trying to ensure that these cattle are also being evacuated. But like, you can take a look at these trees, they are swaying so heavily. It is the situation is only going to get worse as the cyclone Mishong nears the Bapatla coast. Right now it is at around 70 kilometers from here. It is situated in the ocean, and it is moving at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour, and it is expected to make landfall at the coast of Andhra Pradesh in a couple of hours. Shivangi, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Varshini, for getting us all the details. Varshini, please stay safe. We know that heavy winds and rainfall where you are, and in just a short while, few hours from now, viewers, where Varshini is, Andhra Pradesh coast, we will see there will be a landfall of cyclone Michong. Not only that, Chennai is completely submerged, and authorities have put every plan in place to make sure there's minimal damage. Now, taking a very short break, we continue getting you the top updates on India's #1 news channel, Republic TV. The Prime Minister meets a Kenyan president as the winter session kicks off.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more.
I believe that if we work well, we work together, and even media organizations like ours can play a small part in this. I believe that by 2030, we should be established as one of the economic superpowers in the world.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi.
I believe that if we work well, we work together, and
मिचोंग का और यहाँ गवर्नमेंट का प्रिपरेशंस तैयारी भी कई तरीके से कर रहे हैं, और आप देख रहे हैं एनडीआरएफ के लोग यहाँ पे अभी 20 से ज़्यादा लोग हैं, और आंध्र प्रदेश के कोस्ट लाइन में विजयवाड़ा से शुरू करके विशाखापट्टनम तक 12 टीम एनडीआरएफ ने डिप्लॉय किया है। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का टीम्स भी है रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशंस करने के लिए अगर कुछ हो जाएगा तो, इसीलिए सभी तैयारी आंध्र प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट ने अभी किया हुआ है, और थोड़ी देर में लैंडफॉल होते समय बहुत मुश्किल पड़ेगा, इसीलिए लोग को भी पुलिस वालों यहाँ से निकाल रहे हैं, और हम थोड़ी देर में हमको पता चलेगा कि ये साइक्लोन मिचोंग कब लैंडफॉल कर रहा है, और इसके बाद आंध्र प्रदेश का सिचुएशन कैसा चेंज होगा। वर्षिनी रामू, कैमरामैन विजय सैनी के साथ, आंध्र प्रदेश से।
Roshni getting us top updates coming in from ground. We are seeing that she's reporting on the Andhra Pradesh coast because very soon, in a few hours' time, there will be a landfall of this cyclone Michang. Cyclone Michang alert has been issued in Tamil Nadu. The storm is currently over Bay of Bengal and is likely to head towards the Andhra Pradesh coast as per the current trajectory that it is showing. Heavy inundation has been reported from low-lying areas in Chennai. The cyclone is expected to make a landfall in a few hours' time. The most of Chennai is submerged due to heavy rain under the impact of Michang. Those visuals coming in on your screen as a cyclone is heading towards Andhra Pradesh coast. On the coastline, we are seeing heavy rain, we are seeing heavy winds, and we are seeing big waves being formed because of the impact of cyclone Michang.
Bapatla, it will be making landfall very soon, and this comes between the coast line of Andhra Pradesh from Nellore to Machilipatnam. Therefore, cyclone Michang, we've already seen that it has made a lot of destruction to the state of Tamil Nadu, particularly in the capital city of Chennai, has suffered because of this cyclone Michang extremely yesterday. Therefore, today we can see it has moved towards Andhra Pradesh, towards the northeast direction, and it is expected to make landfall very soon. And after the landfall, it is expected that the severity of the cyclone will go down, and that could help the government to ensure activities to be immediately put out so that normalcy can return to the state of Andhra Pradesh as well. This is Vashni Ramu along with PJ Sunny from Bapatla for Republic TV.
All right, viewers, so those visuals coming in. Cyclone Michang to make a landfall very soon. More than 9,000 people have been evacuated in coastal Andhra Pradesh and they have been moved to safer locations. On your screen, you see two visuals coming in. One is from Andhra Pradesh, the coastline, where Roshni is our reporter who's reporting for us from ground. On the right hand, you see visuals coming in from Chennai. Same situation, heavy rain, heavy winds. And normal life has been thrown completely out of gear. Many people have been evacuated. An alert also has been issued, viewers. Now, what we see right now is that the authorities have asked everyone to prepare for the landfall of Cyclone Michang. The Indian Railways has geared up its entire machinery in a big way to ensure and manage smooth and safe railway operation.
And informs us about the triumphs, innovations and unique journeys that define the diverse tapestry of products proudly bearing the label Made in India. To conduct the next conversation, we will have Mr. Aman Gupta, co-founder and CMO Boat Lifestyle. Under Mr. Aman's leadership, Boat has achieved immense success, shaping the hearables and wearables industry to embody self-expression and individualism beyond utility. Boat's success has placed India as a significant player in the global market. He is also a shark on the hit TV show Shark Tank India, inspiring scores of entrepreneurs nationwide. His remarkable achievements have been recognized by several prestigious award organizations, including the Economic Times, Forbes, India's Tycoons of Tomorrow, and Entrepreneur India, where he won the Entrepreneur of the Year award. Before we invite him on stage, let's take a look at this next AV.
In today's age and times, it's impossible to imagine. In today's age and times, it's impossible to imagine life without gadgets. From earphones to headphones, speakers, travel chargers, smartwatches, and so much more. Boat is one such leading consumer electronics brand that offers multi-category consumer electronics. Established in 2015 by Aman Gupta at a young age of 36, The story of boat is an inspiration to the budding entrepreneurs of the country. Aman Gupta was one of the young entrepreneurs who was invited as an official delegation during Prime Minister Modi's visit to Paris very recently. The CEO and co-founder of Boat joins us at the India Economic Summit for a fireside chat on the Made in India story.
Doesn't require an introduction. Welcome, Aman.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for calling me here. And please be kind to me. I was telling Arnab also. I'm scared of Republic. The first time I'm coming here. Please be kind, you guys.
So, Aman, we are celebrating India's dream run.
Yeah.
But this decade, you started in 2016. This decade has clearly been your dream run. So how did it start for you?
Start कैसे हुई company?
हाँ जी.
हिंदी we are all okay, right? ठीक. आप भी हिंदी में पूछ सकते हो.
मैं कोशिश करूँगी.
So we started 2016. I was working for a company called JBL, and they also make decent products, right? So I learned a lot from them on how to market, how to produce, or what's the landscape of the industry. And then one fine day, I decided that, the market is changing, India is changing, consumers are changing, and हम लोग ना बहुत बोरिंग, अगर आप मार्केट आपको याद होगी तो पहले बड़े ब्लैक ग्रे यही वाइट ये प्रोडक्ट्स आते थे. सो व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड मेकिंग प्रोडक्ट्स लिटिल कूलर, वी मेड इन डिफरेंट कलर्स. वी स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग टू द मार्केट इन अ वेरी डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज. मतलब मार्केट ना बहुत चेंज होती है, आज भी चेंज हो रही है. मैं आपको एक सिंपल एग्जांपल बताता हूँ. जब हम कंज्यूमर से बात कर रहे थे तो एक इंस्टाग्राम में मेरे एक ऑफिस के बंदे ने लिखा है ये इट्स फ्राइडे को. तो मैंने बोला भाई स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक है, चेक कर. तो कहता सर आप रहने दो, बिकॉज फ्राइडे वाज अ स्लैंग एट दैट टाइम, राइट? एंड आई डिडंट नो इट्स अ स्लैंग. So we started marketing our products in a very young audience. I don't know whether you saw today's newspaper in Times of India. We have like a front page ad with Netflix, Botex, Netflix. So the market changes every time. You have to talk to the consumers in a language which they understand. Make the products as they demand. With the changing times, changing colors, changing patterns, changing technologies, and we just did the right things. We didn't do too many things. We just brought in small products. पहले हम लोगों ने हेडफोन लॉन्च करे, फिर स्पीकर लॉन्च करे, फिर साउंड बार. लास्ट ईयर हमने घड़ियां लॉन्च करी. तो हमने धीरे धीरे कंपनी चलाई और what do you say? We are happily living. Happily living well after, or something like that, right? So it's doing well. Touch wood, God has been kind. 6 years we've grown well. I think first year we did 7 crores. Second year we did 30. Third year we did 100. Then we did 700. Then we did 2000, and this year we are on the path of doing 4000 crores. So yeah, God has been kind.
कोई भी ब्रांड को सक्सेस बनाने के लिए जो कस्टमर है उसका दिल जीतना पड़ता है. Forgive my Hindi, but you won the hearts of the Indian customers, especially the young ones, very early in your day. So how did you get a finger on the nerve of what the young Indian really wanted? Because you really created a niche where there was a gap.
अभी तो बताया मैं.
हाँ जी. Now, we
Yeah.
want to know more. What was the magic of both?
मैजिक ऑफ बोट मैम मैं ना बहुत मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि एक ना पुराने ज़माने में ना एक अगर आप किसी उसमें जाते थे ना दुकानों में तो हमारे दिल्ली में अगर आप खान मार्केट वगैरह जाओगे और उसमें ना छोटा सा एक बोर्ड लगा होता था ग्राहक भगवान
हाँ
है
जी।
ठीक है इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल लाइन बट आई थिंक दैट इज हाउ आई डू माई मार्केटिंग दैट वी गो वेरी कस्टमर बैकवर्ड इट्स वेरी इजी यू नो अगर आप किसी भी उससे पूछोगे ना जैसे अगर आपको प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करना है ठीक है तो हमें ना जब एमबीए कर रहे थे आई वेंट टू आईएसबी तो एमबीए कर रहे थे ना तो हमें सिखाते हैं बहुत सारे मार्केटिंग मॉडल्स दैट यू डू फर्स्ट यू डू कॉन्जॉइंट एनालिसिस देन यू डू दिस डिड्यूव एंड देन यू डू दिस एक्स वाई जेड एंड देन यू लॉन्च अ प्रोडक्ट I think it's not required. I think life is very simple. It's better not to complicate it. I believe in lot in the basic principles of 4 P's. हमें बचपन में पढ़ाया था प्रोडक्ट अच्छा हो प्राइस ठीक हो सही प्रमोशन करो और सही प्राइस पे बेचो मतलब प्रोडक्ट प्राइस प्रमोशन एंड प्लेस सही जगह बेचो तो ये 4 P's है इतना सिंपल है इतनी कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं करी तो सेम बता रहा हूँ ना कि हमारा ऐसा नहीं था कि हमारा प्राइस सबसे कम था सबसे कम प्राइस पे कुछ नहीं बिकता नैनो भी नहीं बिकी राइट तो प्राइस लॉजिकल रखना जरूरी है एस्पिरेशन इंडिया में बहुत जरूरी है मतलब मेरे को लगता है कि इंडिया इज द मोस्ट एस्पिरेशनल कंट्री इफ यू लुक एट अगर आप गांव में जाओगे तो गांव वालों को भी बहुत अच्छा लगता है जो सिटीज में खरीद रहे हैं सिटीज में अच्छा लगता है जो टाउन्स में खरीद रहे हैं टाउन्स में अच्छा गांव को टाउन टू सिटी और सिटी वालों को अच्छा लगता है कि किम कार्दाशियन क्या पहन रही है सो आई थिंक इंडिया इज वेरी एस्पिरेशनल एट ऑल लेवल्स even if you sell anything you have to sell it with aspiration so our price was right and the brand was aspirational and consumers loved us
And you were profitable from day one.
yeah
So that the profitability is a big challenge for startups, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about valuation. So do you have a word or two for people who are starting out now? How to keep profitability in mind while starting up?
मैम मुझे ना समझ ही नहीं आती थी ये जो पहले कंपनीज होती थी हमारे को ना हम ना थोड़े जैसे समीर इज अ गुजराती एंड आई एम अ बनिया तो हमारे ना थोड़ा एक वे ऑफ लाइफ बहुत अलग होती थी मेरे को ना एक्चुअली में समझ नहीं आती थी कंपनीज की और वो लॉसेस कर रही हैं और स्पेशली इन ब्रांड्स आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनीज को करना हो ब्रांड्स में लॉसेस कर रही हैं और उनकी वैल्यूएशन लाइक 100x 200x राइट सो आई वाज नेवर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट बट आई एम यू नो एंड इवन markets were not able to understand. If you look at how markets are treating companies with profit, वो जब I think a lot of these startups when they went public is when they realized that boss profit के बिना नहीं हो सकता, right? ये एक वो लाइन नहीं है ये public है ये सब जानती है तो public ने actually सबको सिखा दिया कि profitability important है and I'm so happy now the whole VC world, the PE world. I remember I went to an investor and he asked me what's your burn rate, right? मैं तो मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आया था कि I have an earn rate sir, not a burn rate, right? So I'm not saying we will not do losses. हम लोग अगर invest करेंगे एक साल loss होगा, but I think the DNA of profitability has to be there. There are some companies in our they've just been funded in our industry और वो आके उसी ग्रुप ने माइक्रोमैक्स में भी इन्वेस्ट किया था ठीक है और अब वो आके पूरा बर्न कर रहे हैं पैसे मस्त लगा रहे हैं मेरे को ये पता है मैक्सिमम 1 साल 2 साल में वो कंपनी बंद हो जाएगी बट वो मार्केट खराब करते हैं I think as founders now, the market, the industry, I think we've all matured enough to understand that boss, इतने का खरीदो इतने का बेचो बीच में मुनाफा. That is how the world works and that is how I think we worked. So
yes. It is your motto that, earn, don't burn.
Yeah.
That's what people say about you. And that is perhaps how you have very quickly become market number 1 in India and number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
So what about scale? I mean, how did you drive scale so fast?
मैम मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि हमारी इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन इतनी है कि इंडिया में बेच के हम नंबर 2 बन गए वर्ल्ड में, राइट? It's we only sell in India and we are number 2 in the world. And which is the number 1 company? Apple, right? So A for Apple, B for boat. I always say that. I think, ma'am, and it's been last 13 quarters we've been consistently number 1. And the best part which I feel and I keep telling my team is that it's not about being number 1, it's about being consistent and think like a challenger. Just say, I'm very passionate about what I do, at Boat. We are like building it up and we love what we are doing. but I'm very paranoid about what we can somebody else can come and do to us. मतलब हमारी भी जैसे हमने आके we came, we saw, we conquered, somebody else can come and see and conquer also. So that keeps us driving and that keeps us alive, and that's how we just keep delivering.
आपका जो एनर्जी है और बोट का जो एज अ प्रोडक्ट जो एनर्जी है वो मिलता जुलता है. तो डू यू थिंक when you invest in someone, because you're also on a panel where you select entrepreneurs, would you want to invest in the person behind the brand or in the idea?
मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. मैं ना जब हम लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए जा रहे थे ना, तो हमारी इंडस्ट्री ऐसी थी कि हमें सब बोलते थे कि जैसे एक तो ये रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है ना, पता नहीं आप कहाँ चला दोगे. मुझे पीआर वालों ने मना किया है नाम लेने से, बट मेरे ना यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ था मेरा बाप माइक्रोमैक्स है, ठीक है. तो हमारे को हर इन्वेस्टर जज करता था कि इंडस्ट्री में, और जब हम आ रहे थे ना तो ये सब वापस जा रहे थे, करेक्ट, और चाइनीज आ रहे थे, तो हमारे को हर कोई जज करता था. मतलब हमारे को तो सारे इन्वेस्टर बात भी नहीं करते थे हमसे कि भाई ये तो सेम स्टोरी है, सेम वे से दे विल डाई द सेम डेथ, राइट. सो हमारे तो इतना इन्वेस्टर्स ने हमारे को रिजेक्ट किया है कि पूछो मत. और इतना मजा आता है ना जब मैं उन इन्वेस्टर्स को मिलता हूँ और वो बोलते हैं, ओह यू गाइस हैव डन अ फैंटास्टिक जॉब एंड ऑल दैट, राइट. सो एंड इट्स लाइक द लाफ व्हेन आई से, सर यू मिस्ड द बोट, राइट. But I think there is unfortunately a herd mentality in India, especially on the terms of investments, right? अगर कोई फूड टेक के पीछे भाग रहे थे तो ये सब फूड टेक भागते हैं, फिर कोई फिनटेक भाग रहे थे तो सब फिनटेक भाग रहे थे. अभी लास्ट ईयर सब एडटेक के पीछे भाग रहे थे सारे इन्वेस्टर्स. अब देखो एडटेक की क्या हालत है. और बीच में अब हमारे थोड़ा D2C के पीछे भाग रहे थे तो सब D2C कर रहा था. So I think this is unfortunately in India that is what was happening. So we got a lot of rejections, but there was one guy who invested in us. His name was Kawaljeet Singh. He's from Fireside Ventures. उन्होंने हमारे पे 7 करोड़ रुपए लगाए थे. और मैंने मतलब out of all these investors, he was the only one who invested in us. और उनके 7 करोड़ के we've already given him 100 crores back, and he still owns 3% in our company, right? And I feel that guy chose me, right? And Sameer. दैट बॉस, उसने एक बंदे पे इन्वेस्ट किया था, उसे पता था ये कुछ ना, और तब हम लोग 100 करोड़ का धंधा कर रहे थे. उसने हमारे पे इन्वेस्ट किया था और हमने उसको रिटर्न दे दिया. तो मुझे लगता है कि यार अगर बंदा सही होगा ना तो वो कुछ ना कुछ करके अपना रास्ता निकाल लेगा, राइट. अगर वो बंदा सही है, जैसे अगर आप अपना ही एग्जांपल देखो, आई शुडंट बोस्ट अबाउट इट, बट यू गाइज हैव डन अ क्रेजी जॉब फ्रॉम वेयर यू गाइज केम आउट, एंड नाउ रिपब्लिक इज नंबर 1, राइट. अर्नब सर इज डूइंग अ फैंटास्टिक जॉब देयर. So if you are good, if you are there, people invest in you, and people feel that अगर आप, मैं भी ऐसे इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि अगर मैं शार्क टैंक में बंदा देखता हूँ, अगर वो बंदा सही है, और अगर वो बंदा सही है तो वो मेरे पैसे यहाँ पे या कहीं और कुछ ना कुछ करके मेरे को रिटर्न दे देगा, ठीक है. तो और ऐसा ही हुआ है, जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स मैंने करी है बंदों पे वो बेस्ट कर रही है, और जो इन्वेस्टमेंट मैंने फोमो में करी है वो सबसे खराब चल रही है.
अमन, हमारे देश का जो एस्पिरेशन लेवल्स है ना वो बढ़ते जा रहा है, स्पेशली इन अमंग जेन ज़ी. योर फैन फॉलोइंग इज अमंग दैट एज ग्रुप. तो आप जो एक प्राइस पॉइंट रख रहे हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट्स के, आप वो मेंटेन कर पाएंगे, या यू ऑल्सो एस्पायर टू गेट इनटू द लग्जरी सेगमेंट? व्हाट इज योर?
मैम प्राइस पे मैंने जैसे बताया था, एस्पिरेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट, और प्राइस सेगमेंट चेंज होता रहता है. जैसे नाउ वी जस्ट लॉन्च, आज जो स्पीकर लॉन्च किया 10,000 रुपए का है, और आजकल अगर आप जेनजीज की बात करो तो इट्स दे ऑल्सो नेवर बॉट अस ऑन प्राइस. सो we want to sell premiumization is the name of the game. और इंडिया में अनफॉर्चुनेटली एक और चीज चल रही है, जब महंगा होता है ना तो लोगों को लगता है अच्छा होगा, ठीक है. मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, लेकिन जो नंबर 1 ब्रांड है ना, आपको पता ही है कौन सा, उससे हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, मेरे को लगता है, ठीक है. और बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो ज्यादा बिकता है क्योंकि वो ज्यादा महंगा है. मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है, मैं अपने दोस्तों को देता हूँ प्रोडक्ट, और वो एक मतलब बेस्ट क्या है, वो 30,000 रुपए के आसपास उनका ईयरफोन आते हैं, और वो अगर एक बारी फ्लाइट में रुक जाए ना तो बड़ा रोना आता है कि 30,000 रुपए का रुक गए. मैंने अपने दोस्तों को दिया कि बॉस तू हमारा ट्राई कर, 6 घंटे की बैटरी उनमें, हमारे पे 120 घंटे, हमारा साउंड बेटर है, ट्राई तो करके देख. तो वो है कि इट्स जस्ट नाउ वी हैव टू डू, द अवेयरनेस लेवल इज अमेजिंग, कन्वर्जन इज गुड, बट नाउ we want to capture that the high flying audience which can afford A, but they should buy B, is what I say.
Aman, the startup climate is not good, we know about it, and 90% of startups fail. तो इस जर्नी को सस्टेन कैसे कर सकते हैं आप? आप देख रहे हैं, आप you're among the people who have been able to sustain over a period of time, got to the mid segment, you're no more a startup, you're a major company. So a lot of people who are wanting to start up now would want to know how to, do you have a tip or two for people who are starting up?
And why am I not a startup anymore?
Because of your numbers.
So, Zomato is still a startup. They say Flipkart is also a startup. Then I am not a startup.
You have to leave that crown at some point.
No, we are. Is also a startup.
Republic should also give up that startup. That cap very soon.
It's the mentality which we have.
Yeah.
तो आपका question क्या था?
तो ये नहीं, you're not anymore a startup. You're a mid-sized company. You're globally number 2. मेरा question ये है तो कि आप क्योंकि आप वो you could cover that journey that you arrived at this scale. तो जो अभी फाउंडर्स आप वही सुन रहे हैं हमारा प्रोग्राम, फाउंडर्स के लिए कुछ बताइए.
मेरे को लगता है मैम इंडिया में तो अभी हमारी सबकी ना जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई है. अगर आप फ्रैंकली देखो तो आज तक वर्ल्ड में स्टार्टअप डे कभी सेलिब्रेट नहीं होता था. अभी मोदी जी ने स्टार्ट करवाया स्टार्टअप डे एंड वी आर ऑल सेलिब्रेटिंग दैट, राइट? If you look at our aspirations are huge. You showed a picture where जब मैं बैठा हुआ था and we went on a delegation, right? उसमें delegation में क्या होता है, जब मैं पेरिस गया तो सारे business delegations बैठे हुए थे, right? सारे businessmen बैठे हुए थे, तो बहुत अच्छी discussion हो रही थी. एक तरफ लोग बोल रहे थे that I have 6 factories in Europe. Somebody was saying I have 6 decades of experience in your country, in Europe. और दूसरी तरफ Indigo के बैठे हुए थे, बोलते कि I have bought so many planes that now in next 10% India has bought so many planes that 10% of your production will be India. So they were like these people, and there was one guy called Aman Gupta who was sitting, who was just 6 years old, right, in the corporate world. 6 साल पुरानी company है, but I am so happy that now if you look at the government also, they are promoting startups. So Nikhil Kamath went for the US trip, I went for the Paris trip. It's so nice that young startups are also getting that opportunity to sit with all these global players. It's immense learning for us. तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ वहाँ पे क्या हुआ. वहाँ पे ना उन्होंने मेरी बारी आई बोलने की, तो मैंने बोला कि आई एम सो हैप्पी टू बी हियर एंड आई रिप्रेजेंट प्रॉब्ली अ पार्ट ऑफ अ न्यू इंडिया व्हिच हैज हाई एस्पिरेशंस. इफ यू लुक एट अस, वी डोंट वांट टू बी लिमिटेड टू इंडिया. इफ आई आस्क दिस ऑडियंस हियर, give us 10 names other than these outsourcing companies, 10 names of brands, 10 brands which have sold outside India. You cannot. आप ढूंढ के बता दो. आप किसी सुपरमार्केट में जाओ, वहां पे आप देखो तो आपको कोई इंडियन ब्रांड ज्यादा नहीं दिखेंगे. किसी भी बाहर वॉलमार्ट चले जाओ, टेस्को चले जाओ, नहीं मिलते. तो हमारी एस्पिरेशंस आज की ऐसी है. तो मैं वही टेबल पे बैठा था, मैंने बोला कि नाउ वी रिप्रेजेंट द न्यू इंडिया एंड वी लव फ्रेंच ब्रांड्स एंड वी होप अ टाइम विल कम व्हेन पीपल विल स्टार्ट लविंग इंडियन ब्रांड्स. दैट्स आवर एस्पिरेशन. आपको मैं बताता हूँ, जब कोई प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च होता है कई ब्रांड्स का, तो लाइन लगी होती है उसको खरीदने के लिए रात को, राइट? मैं चाहता हूं कि ऐसा भी टाइम आए कि हमारी दुकानें हो बाहर और फिरंगी लाइन लगाए कि बोट का प्रोडक्ट खरीदना है हमारे को. क्यों नहीं खरीद सकते, राइट?
आपको लगता है कि अभी जो माहौल है हमारा इंडिया में बिजनेस और स्टार्टअप्स के लिए, ये और भी मतलब
अभी तो टाइम शुरू हुआ है. इंडिया में तो कुछ है ही नहीं अभी. मतलब आई थिंक अभी ये छटाई हो रही है, ठीक है? ये बंद हो जाएंगी आदि फालतू कंपनियां, और रियल बिजनेसेस, रियल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स विल स्टिल सर्वाइव. They are still getting money. There is so much dry powder with these investors. People will still get money. Good companies, good entrepreneurs will always get money.
So it's a correction. This whole startup winter,
it's a correction.
Funding winter is a correction. But there is a lot of dry powder, as I'm told. Yeah. So आपका नेक्स्ट डेकेड क्या है? आपका तो एक डेकेड लगभग हो चुका है. नेक्स्ट डेकेड आप वेयर डू यू वांट टू सी बोट?
मैम मैं बताता हूँ, जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था ना, तो हम लोग इंडिया में कुछ नहीं बनाते थे, ठीक है? और क्या हुआ, तो हमारे से ना कंज्यूमर्स भी लिखने लगे थे. पहले इंडियन कंज्यूमर्स को ये भी नहीं फर्क पड़ता था कि कहाँ बन रहा है प्रोडक्ट, करेक्ट? हमारे को कोई नहीं पूछता था. पहले जब लोग बोलते थे कि सर आपका प्रोडक्ट तो चाइना में बनता है, ऐसे बोलते थे, तो मैं कहता था भाई तेरा फोन कौन सा है? और 99% फोन भी चाइना में बनता है. मैं बोलता था जो तेरा फोन बन रहा है ना, उसके पीछे वाली फैक्ट्री में माल बनता है, करेक्ट? अब आप देखो, फास्ट फॉरवर्ड 2023, 6 years नाउ, कंज्यूमर्स आर डिमांडिंग. हमारे को इतने लोग बोलते हैं कि बॉस तुम इंडिया में क्यों नहीं बनाते, आप इंडिया में बनाओ. पहले ना इंडिया में मेक इन इंडिया ऑल्सो वॉज नॉट अ बिग थिंग. But if you look at how the government has promoted Make in India, it's amazing that now people want Make in India. Imagine that people actually are demanding that we want Make in India. So I was 100% importing, and today I'm proud to say we are 70% made in India.
Wow.
And if we don't do that, people will stop buying us, right? It is the need of the nation. It is the need of the hour. It is the need of the consumers. They are demanding it. It's not been easy. This year we've made a loss in our company because we are investing so much in ensuring that our factories work well. Our efficiency rates were very bad. हम 100 प्रोडक्ट निकालते थे, उसमें से 50 खराब निकलते थे, और यही अगर हम दूसरी कंट्रीज में देखो तो 5% खराब निकलता है. सो वी आर ऑल्सो लर्निंग, राइट. मेरे को एक चीज याद है कि अगर आप there is a saying called Rome was not built in a day. I say India will not make in a day. We are all making our efforts. We are all making in India. So if you ask me about boat, we want to go international. We want to be a brand from India which has gone international. I remember Modi ji once saying that make in India for the world. We can do that, right? Let's make in India and now start selling for the world. So my next step is make in India for the world. Second, I never thought, frankly, that I will get joy in employing people, right? अभी हम लोगों ने जब स्टार्ट किया, मैं और समीर 2 लोग थे. आज हमारी डेट में we now employ 6,000 people in our company directly and indirectly. And I have taken targets that now let's start employing 20,000 people. So ये धीरे-धीरे steps. हमने 4,000 करोड़ किया. अब हम अगर आप बिजनेस की बात करो तो अगला पड़ाव 10,000 करोड़ कैसे करेंगे, इंडिया से बाहर कैसे जाएंगे, मेक इन इंडिया को कैसे करेंगे. तो these are our ambitions. लोग कहते हैं कि अमन तुझे जरूरत क्या है. मैं कहता हूँ भाई मुझे तो मतलब क्या मैं जाके किसी मतलब कहीं पे जाके रिटायर होने का मन नहीं है. मेरे को बड़ा मन करता है कि now let's do the next thing and then the next and then the next. That's our ambitions.
I'm told that your aspiration is to take your company to 10,000 crore, and how soon do you want to achieve that?
मैं रिकॉर्डिंग में बोल दूंगा तो आप पीछे पड़ जाओगे. बट कर रहे हैं मैम, काम कर रहे हैं, मेहनत कर रहे हैं. हमारा इंसान, आपने वो देखिए जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा. उसमें वो कहता है इंसान का कर्तव्य है कोशिश करना, कामयाबी नाकामयाबी सब ऊपर वाले का.
आपका आईपीओ का भी एस्पिरेशन है? आईपीओ का भी एस्पिरेशन है आपका?
हाँ जी मैम.
कब आ रहा है आईपीओ?
पता है, बताऊंगा नहीं आपको. अरे पता नहीं मैम, ट्राई कर रहे हैं, देखते हैं. आज ऐसा लग रहा था अभी जब इतनी अच्छी मार्केट चल रही है, ऐसा लग रहा था अभी निकाल देता, अभी तो सब कुछ निकल रहा है ना, वो होता है ना. बट 1-2 साल बात करेंगे मैम.
Aman, I'll just take you back to 2 questions where you said that कि इंडिया के ब्रांड्स भी बाहर होने चाहिए. बोट क्रैक किया मेरे, I think because your design was very good. And that happened because of your R&D, and you put in a lot of money in R&D, which is what I know. तो Indian brands अपने design elements में क्यों invest नहीं करते हैं? Why do they cut short there?
I think हो गया है शुरू. Now people can't, it was not easy मैम, इतना easy नहीं था. इंडिया में बहुत कुछ चल रहा है, start हुआ है. And designing in India is also becoming big, and we spend 30% of our money in R&D. So but it's if you look at even the parts, if you look at semiconductors, right? There was no semiconductor factory in India, but now there was a Semicon event which happened just 3 months back. Now these guys are coming in, the design guys are coming in, the chipset guys are coming in, the cable guys. So I think this ecosystem is getting developed. Give it time, another 1 or 2 years, you'll see, it's a different India.
And do you have enough talent in India to support your dreams?
मैम ये बड़ा फनी क्वेश्चन है. ये पता है जब मैं घर खरीदने जाता था तो घर नहीं मिलते थे, और घर बेचने जाओ तो खरीदार नहीं मिलते. आपने सुना ये बात? ये सच है. और यही सिचुएशन मुझे लगता है हमारी है. टैलेंट, अच्छा टैलेंट मिलता नहीं है, और जो मिलता है वो फिर हमारे पास नहीं आता. तो इट्स लाइक ऑलवेज अ डिमांड सप्लाई मिसमैच. और हमारी कंपनी में क्या है ना कि एक बंदा है हमारी कंपनी में था, दमन, ठीक है. मैंने सोचा कि ये बंदा आ गया है, अब ये सही संभालेगा. हमने उसको बनाया चीफ बिजनेस ऑफिसर. 1.5 करोड़ की सैलरी, मजाक नहीं है मैम, बहुत डर लगता है देने में. हमने दिया कि चल ये संभालेगा. एक नई कंपनी आई जिसको फंड किया था सॉफ्ट बैंक ने, साले ने 2.5 करोड़ दे दिए उसे, ठीक है. वो भी छोड़ गया. अब तो समझ भी तो नहीं आता कि टैलेंट का होता क्या है. अब वो अच्छा है कि वो कंपनी बंद हो रही है, ये बंदा वापस आ रहा है ढूंढने नौकरी. So it's a mismatch of, I think the market operating things. It's unfortunately or fortunately, that's how the world works. I still feel we need good talent, and good companies can make magic happen.
Because Aman is so popular, I would invite a question or two from the audience for him. Anybody has a question for Raman and on his journey?
एक बार हिंदी में बोलो ठीक से, थोड़ा तेज.
किसी को कुछ पूछना है अमन से?
कोई any questions?
Youngsters out there at the back? Yes.
देखा?
Yes.
The youngsters are now active.
Youngsters will take time. Yeah.
ये पहला क्वेश्चन की प्रॉब्लम होती है. देखो अब सारे हाथ खड़े हो गए.
Then Abhishek. After that,
Okay.
Abhishek will ask.
हेलो.
यस सर.
आपने बोला कि इंडिया से मतलब बाहर के लोग इंडिया की चीज खरीदेंगे और इंडियन. एक प्रोडक्ट जो मुझे ये है बोस करके, जो साउंड प्रोडक्ट.
क्या 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 करते हैं
Bose.
सर वो? क्या करते क्या है वो आजकल?
जो भी है पॉपुलर तो है ही. तो जैसे बोट अभी आप इतना पॉपुलर हो गया ब्रांड, और यंग जनरेशन सारे आपको जनरली मतलब इजी, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि जल्दी प्रोडक्ट मिल जाए और अच्छा मिल जाए, टिकाऊ, सस्ता और टिकाऊ इंडिया की मेंटेलिटी है. सो क्या आप ये ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि टोटल, जैसे कहते हैं कि आपका विजन तो बहुत बड़ा है कि आप आगे जाके करेंगे, बट कहीं ना कहीं रोड़े अटकते हैं रास्ते में. क्या क्या रोड़े आपने अभी तक रास्ते में आपका आया है?
सर अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. और बहुत सारे रोड़े आए हैं सर. मतलब अगर आप फ्रैंकली पूछो तो जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था, इन्वेस्टर्स ने हमारे को रिजेक्ट किया. हमारे सर एम्प्लॉयज़ हमें ज्वाइन नहीं करते थे शुरू में, क्योंकि हम लोग कुछ नहीं थे, लोग जानते नहीं थे. हमारे सर रिटेलर्स भी हमारे को खरीदते नहीं थे. मैंने एक स्टोरी बताई थी अभी लास्ट किसी एक पॉडकास्ट में. तो हमारे यहाँ पे ना कोई जब हम जाते थे बेचने तो लोग बोलते थे कि सामान मतलब आप कौन हो, हम तो जानते भी नहीं है और आपका माल क्यों खरीदेंगे. रिटेलर्स भी हमारे को खरीदते नहीं थे. तो पैसे नहीं होते थे सर, क्योंकि जब मैंने पहले 5 बिजनेस शुरू किए थे तो मैंने अपने डैड को बोला था, उन्होंने पैसे लगाए और उनके मैंने बड़े पैसे खर्चे. छठे बिजनेस में मैंने उनसे पैसे मांगे, उन्होंने भी पैसे नहीं दिए कि साला निकम्मा है ये, मेरे भी पैसे वेस्ट करेगा. राइट. तो पैसे भी नहीं होते थे, एम्प्लॉयज़ नहीं मिलते थे, इन्वेस्टर ने तो वैसे ही रिजेक्ट कर दिया था. और तो मतलब एक एक करके हमने हर चीज़ सॉल्व करी. और ऐसा नहीं है कि आज प्रॉब्लम नहीं आ रही, आज हमारा स्केल बढ़ गया है तो नई प्रॉब्लम आ गई है. अभी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम मेरे को हो गई है कि हमारी कंपनी इतनी बड़ी हो गई है कि हर कोई अपने आप को ना, मतलब हमारे इतने CXO आ गए हैं, लाइक जैसे क्या हो गया ना, CEO, CRO, CTO, CMO, मतलब A to Z में कुछ नहीं बचा, हमारे सब आ गए. राइट. हमारी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ गई. इतने लोग आ गए हैं कि सब आपस में सब एक दूसरे को, अब सब चौधरी बनना है हमारी कंपनी में. अब उन चौधरियों को मैनेज करने में प्रॉब्लम आती है, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज इतनी बढ़ गई है. सो इट्स अ डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम वी आर फेसिंग. कि प्रॉब्लम तो ऐसा है नहीं कि नहीं आएगी, बट प्रॉब्लम आई जा रही है सर. बट मजा आता है उनको एक एक करके सॉल्व करो, आगे बढ़ो, सॉल्व करो, आगे बढ़ो.
थैंक यू सर.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The mic to the man.
Hello, Namaste Aman. Wonderful to hear you. I am Rajita Kulkarni, President of Shri Shri University. हमारा भी इंक्यूबेटर है. हमने लास्ट 3 साल में 132 स्टार्टअप्स इंक्यूबेट किए हैं. And one thing I always feel when I interact with the startup, our founders, is they feel that the life of an entrepreneur is a lonely life. And many things, when success comes, everybody comes, but those moments of failure you have to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with it personally? What pulls you up? How you pull yourself up?
That's a good question, ma'am. And you're right, ma'am, with success, you get a lot of people. अगर आप मेरे से पूछोगे तो मेरे पास पहले कंपनी ठीक चल रही है, शार्क टैंक की वजह से थोड़ा फेम भी आ गया. तो आपको पता नहीं है मेरे कितने नए रिलेटिव्स आ गए मैम. I have so many of my family members whom I didn't see for 40 years, and now suddenly they want to be, अरे तुझको याद है मैं तेरी चाची और तेरी मासी, so they're like, it's part of life, right? There are a lot of people who try to get associated with you once you start becoming a little famous, and that's okay, that's part of life, right? But I'll tell you, ma'am, frankly speaking, मेरे को ना अब क्या है, लोग जज भी बहुत करते हैं. जैसे अगर आप देखोगे तो आसपास सब मुझे जज करते हैं कि भाई बड़ा आदमी हो गया है, राइट? अगर मैं नहीं भी अपने आप को फील करता तो लोग बार बार बोलते रहते हैं, अरे आजकल तो तू बड़ा आदमी हो गया है, बात नहीं करता, फोन नहीं उठाता। अरे मैं पहले ही नहीं उठाता था, मैं किस किस को बताऊं कि मेरी नेचर ऑफ लाइफ ही ऐसे रहती थी। सो इट्स अनफॉर्चुनेटली और फॉर्चुनेटली वी हैव टू लिव दिस लाइफ दिस वे, राइट? एंड आई डोंट वांट टू गो बैक टू वेयर आई वाज। टच वुड, गॉड हैज बीन काइंड टू मी एंड आई एम लाइक एट अ डिफरेंट डिसेंट लेवल। आई फील मैम कि आई हैव नॉट गिवन दैट पावर टू फॉर मतलब मैं क्या बोलता हूँ कि मैंने वो पावर किसी को नहीं दी हुई कि कोई मुझे इफेक्ट कर सके। मेरे 5-6 लोग हैं, मेरी फैमिली मेंबर्स, क्लोज फैमिली मेंबर्स और फ्रेंड्स, दैट्स इट, कि जो मुझे बताएंगे कि अमन, क्योंकि क्या होता है ना मैम, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है आजकल सबसे ज्यादा एंटरप्रेन्योर्स में हो रहा है, वो थोड़ा भी अच्छा करने लगता है ना, उनमें अकड़ आ जाती है, ठीक है? वो अपने आप को ना गॉड समझने लगता है, गॉड सिंड्रोम बोलता हूं मैं उसे, राइट? थोड़ी सी फंडिंग आ जाती है, वो अपने आप को सेलिब्रेट करने लगते हैं। तो आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर द डाउनफॉल लाइज। एंड माय मॉम ऑलवेज सेज कि यू नो घमंड तो रावण का भी नहीं टिकता, राइट? तो हमें अपना ना वो एक मतलब आई स्टिल फील दैट मॉडेस्टी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड यू हैव टू स्टे हम्बल। और जहां मेरे को लगता है कि मैं थोड़ा सा भी मतलब मैंने अपनी फैमिली 5-7 लोगों को बोला, जहां तुम्हें लगे कि मैं थोड़ा सा भी उड़ रहा हूं, प्लीज मुझे नीचे ले आना, राइट? बाकी दुनिया तो ऑलरेडी जज कर रही है, तुम लोग मुझे असलियत पर रखना। तो आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट कीप्स मी ग्राउंडेड मैन।
Abhishek, you have a question. Abhishek.
Aman, you had mentioned about the difficulties you faced in terms of quality control, the rejection rate 50%. Why it happens? It's connected with Skill India, that's why I'm asking. Do you see things changing on that front where your Six Sigma numbers really improve in terms of the quality of product, the output?
गुड पॉइंट सर। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मेरे को याद है जब कोविड आया था तो हम पीपी किट भी नहीं बनाते थे, याद है आपको, राइट? फिर हमने पीपी किट भी बनानी शुरू की। आप इमेजिन करो, जब वो नहीं बना रहे तो हेडफोन, स्पीकर, घड़ियां क्यों बनाएंगे? तो सर इंडिया में इकोसिस्टम नहीं था, बन गया है, बना रहे हैं, हम सब कोशिश कर रहे हैं, इंक्लूडिंग द गवर्नमेंट, सब हेल्प कर रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हैं। एक्चुअली क्या है, कई कंट्रीज ना फैक्ट्री टू द वर्ल्ड बन गई थी, तो उनको आता था कि कैसे बनाना है, क्या क्वालिटी चेक्स करने हैं, कैसे पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए बनाना है। हमारा जो हमने जब अपनी फैक्ट्री डाली तो हमने डिक्सन के साथ जॉइंट वेंचर में डाली 50-50%। हमें आता ही नहीं था, किसी को नहीं आता था बनाते कैसे ऐसे, तो हमने सीखा, बहुत गलतियां करी सर, और सीख के अब एक टाइम आया है कि नाउ वी हैव स्टार्टेड गेटिंग इट राइट, एंड इट्स नॉट एज आई सेड दैट इट्स लर्निंग कर्व सर। हर चीज अगर आप सोचो कि आप फर्स्ट डे से ही बेस्ट करोगे तो यू नो आप भगवान के बच्चे थोड़ी हो, आप यू हैव टू slowly I think learn, and that's how life goes.
Can I have a follow-up question?
Yes sir.
On this only, since you said you were importing and getting much of your stuff from China, the same shop floors, same factories which were giving to the Apple or others, what difference according to you makes them do those things which we are sort of learning now? What is it a matter of work ethics? Is it a matter of tech orientation? What? It's
about timing, sir. I think they were ahead of us in looking at manufacturing. They must have started 30 years back. We all as a country, manufacturing was not like a focus. You know, Make in India, आपको भी पता है 5-7 साल, 8-10 साल पहले कोई बात भी नहीं करता था, right? अभी start हुआ है. So I think it's about focus, timing and scale. उनका scale बहुत ज़्यादा है, हमारा scale सबका collectively कम है, but बढ़ जाएगा सर, हो जाएगा, हम भी बना लेंगे।
हर्ष,
सुना है आपने ये सर?
हर्ष has a question.
Yes sir.
Harsh hold her.
B for boat, B for bat क्यों नहीं, boat क्यों सोचा?
B for bad?
हाँ, हमने B for boat कैसे सोचा, B for bat क्यों नहीं?
Bad या bat? Bat ना।
हाँ जी। और दूसरा सवाल, what do you cherish more? आपके पहले 7 करोड़ कि आपके 4,000 करोड़?
4,000 करोड़ सेल्स मेरे पास नहीं है, कल आप बोल दो, और इसमें भी प्रॉफिट इतना नहीं है कि आप कल से बोलो ऐड भी डालना शुरू कर दो। तो सर पहले 100 करोड़ आई लव दोज डेज, आई लव दोज टाइम्स. एक अलग टाइप का नशा था, एक अलग टाइप का फील थी. अभी तो थोड़ी कंपनी बड़ी होती जा रही है, ऑर्गेनाइज होती जा रही है, इसमें अलग नशा है, अलग मजा है. बट मेरा जो वे ऑफ लाइफ था ना, वो पहले 100 करोड़ के लिए, क्योंकि हम सब छोटी सी टीम थी, 10-12 लोग थे. एक रेस्टोरेंट है सोशल हॉस्कास विलेज में, वहां से काम करते थे. और वो क्या था ना, पहले डिफरेंट टाइप के चैलेंजर ब्रांड थे हम, राइट. अभी क्या है कि यू आर नाउ बीइंग रिकॉग्नाइज्ड एज अ लीडर, विच इज नॉट अ बैड थिंग. आई डोंट वांट टू गो बैक टू द चैलेंजर वर्ल्ड, बट बीइंग अ चैलेंजर, बीइंग अ डेविड एंड गोलायत वाली स्टोरी, दैट यूज्ड टू मेक मी फील more energized and more. If you ask me personally, I like that more. But it's like people ask कि आपको college life ज़्यादा अच्छी लगती है या married life, right? It's both. You have different times. Some people still want to stay in the college life. You can't, right? You have to grow up at one point of time. So I love that time, but you have to grow up, and now we are growing up as a company.
And how did you think of the name Boat? I mean,
so it's a good question. It was, if you see the A inside, there is a boat. It's an embedded boat inside, right? So it's a very, it was very cool first. कि एक young brand है, and the A is like a bold A first, and there was A inside. But if you look at our tagline, it is called plug into nirvana, right? तो अगर आप बोट पे जाते हो, yacht पे जाते हो, you leave the land behind, you leave your worries behind. So same way, you wear a boat headphone, you plug into your own zone, you plug into nirvana. That was the connotation behind the whole word.
Can I tell you what it will stand for? Boat can stand for bold attitude.
Bold attitude, yeah.
But,
I don't.
I'm a friend, but I'm still going to ask you a question. Who inspires you the most?
Sir, a lot of people, in fact, if you ask me, there are, there were three.
एक नाम.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है सर, मैं 3 जगह बताता हूँ, ठीक है. मेरे को ना 3 लोगों से मिलना है लाइफ में, ठीक है. एक, अगर आप एंटरटेनमेंट वर्ल्ड में देखो तो मुझे शाहरुख खान से मिलना है. मैं आज तक मिला नहीं हूँ. मुझे बड़ा मन है कि मैं एक बारी शाहरुख खान से मिलूँ. मैं बड़ा फैन रहा हूँ, ठीक है. तो मेरे को शाहरुख खान से मिलना है. दूसरा, मुझे जेफ बेजोस से मिलना है इन द बिजनेस वर्ल्ड, ठीक है. मुझे जेफ बेजोस से मिलना है क्योंकि उन्होंने, आप यूएस में रह के इतनी अच्छी कंपनी इंडिया में भी चला रहे हो. अमेजॉन इज लाइक किलिंग इट. आज भी आप लोगों को देखो तो, और अगर मेरे घर पे भी लोग अमेजॉन ऐसे क्लिक कर करके खरीदते रहते हैं, राइट. और वो बंदा यूएस में बैठा है और हम इंडिया में इतना अच्छी कंपनी चला रहे हैं, और मेरे से यहाँ साथ ऊपर और नीचे फ्लोर में नहीं चल पाती कंपनी ठीक से कभी कभी, राइट. और तीसरा, मुझे मोदी जी से मिलना है सर. आई एम वेरी इंस्पायर्ड बाय हिम. सो दीज आर द 3 people I want to meet.
Tatastu.
Thank you so much, Aman. And it has been a great pleasure to have you. Wish you all the best. May you take your journey to 10,000 crore, 20,000 crore and further. And keep coming back to Republic.
Thank you. Please keep calling me back.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Put your hands together.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi.
I believe that if we work well, we work together, and even media organizations like ours can play a small part in this. I believe that by 2030, we should be established as one of the economic superpowers in the world.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi.
I believe that if we work well, we work together, and even media organizations like ours can play a small part in this. I believe that by 2030, we should be established as one of the economic superpowers in the world.
From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more.
I believe that if we work well, we work together, and even media organizations like ours can play a small part in this. I believe that by 2030, we should be established as one of the economic superpowers in the world.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. All set to become a developed nation by 2047. The Indian growth story is an unparalleled success. Be there at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run, coming up on 5th December in New Delhi.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate this and more. From satellites to semiconductors, India is on an economic growth highway. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi. With over 100 unicorns and more waiting to come up, it's time to celebrate India's entrepreneurial spirit. Join us at the India Economic Summit Sustaining the Dream Run on 5th December in New Delhi to celebrate
mentioning. We have hit all-time highs in the markets today, and today we are bringing you two market mavens, Bharat Bhai Shah, Nilesh Bhai Shah. More than 3 decades, I have known both of them, and they have been market masters for over 3 decades. So we are looking forward to a lot of insights. I will talk the least, I will make them talk more. So Bharat Bhai, first going to you, what all is going right? Why are we at all-time highs?
A lot of, this is a culmination of a lot of things that have been happening and which are still getting unveiled. So it's not some very narrow correlation with some immediate event or something. I think broadly I would say we are at a cusp of one of the greatest economic expansion